All right. Hey man, how y'all doing today? Hope y'all, oh wow. Okay. Hope y'all doing hope y'all doing good, staying well, staying healthy, all that great stuff. And listen, man, today we got Formula One explained for rookies, man. Now, we first watched F1. It was the crashes. If you did not check that video out, go watch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. But Formula One, this is gonna be explained for rookies. And you know, this is what y'all recommended me back when I did watch that the biggest crashes video. Y'all told me, yo, watch this vid, you know. And I'm actually curious, you know what I'm saying, what you know, what's there to know as a rookie. Let's get straight to it, man. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So the next 66 laps. Max Verstappen.
And then we also saw the insane speed of F1 too. The turns, all that. I just want to say, much respect to y'all. Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna set the basketball. I mean, okay.
Max Verstappen is
This
champion
screams
of the
danger for
world.
me.
You've been hearing about F1 too, right? Cool, let's talk about it.
Formula One racing into Miami for the first
The
time.
hottest ticket in town.
Hooked on Drive to Survive.
Drive to survive.
Drive to survive.
This is a car race at
Yo, this
over
editing's
200
fire.
miles an hour in cities all over the world
Miami Grand Prix, Bahrain Grand Prix, here in Monaco.
with insanely famous
Daniel
drivers
Ricciardo.
Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world
and
champion.
100-person teams, racing cars so advanced that they're practically spaceships, and so expensive that they had to make a rule that teams couldn't spend more than $140 million each. And it's only getting bigger. Just look at this. This is from a construction camera at one of 2 new US racetracks. This one's in Miami. This cost $40 million to build. And it
Let
hosted
me turn my headphones up a little bit, real quick. Okay, all right, we're straight.
nearly 250,000 people over 3 days. That's a Super Bowl worth of people every day. And one of
Yeah, that's
them
wild.
was me.
It's the first ever Miami Grand Prix. We're racing in the States and it's lights out, away we go.
Whoa! All I said was Jordan.
Miami Grand Prix, we're racing in the States.
Oh, David Beck. Oh, wow. Oh, Tom Brady. Oh, wow. Look at
And it's
this.
lights out, away we go.
Do we understand the atmosphere right now? The presence, bro.
I just love F1. But a lot of people, because of all this hype, they're hearing about it right now for the first time. And they're feeling a little bit,
I don't understand.
So let's get into it. This is F1 explained for rookies.
Okay.
What you need to know to keep up with this crazy, expensive sport that everyone's suddenly obsessed with.
Lewis Hamilton!
Verstappen holds it!
It's done.
But it's all
No. Why? Why is this video buffering? I have no connection problems. Why is it? Why? All right, bro. I'll be right back. My apologies. All right, we're back. Okay, let's go.
crazy, expensive sport that everyone's suddenly obsessed with.
Lewis Hamilton!
Verstappen holds it!
It's done.
But it's also a look at the bigger question here, the huge question.
Okay.
Which is, why do this? Like, why pour so much money, so much technological effort into F1?
Hey, some people put a lot of money into cricket. You know what I mean? Cricket. It's just the interest. It's just the interest. Not saying that F1 is as boring as cricket. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, yeah, everyone got their interest. You know what I mean? And I could easily see how people are very interested in this sport.
The answer is in what we get in return. This isn't just a car race. This is a space program for the road.
General growth in interest.
That's a good
F1's becoming
way to
much
put
more
it.
of a thing here in the States. You know?
Monaco Grand Prix, win the Italian Grand Prix, the Bahrain Grand Prix.
If you're new to F1, you might know its American cousins. NASCAR has the least family resemblance.
Yeah.
Closed cockpits, oval tracks. IndyCar and F1 look more related. They've got the spaghetti-looking track, open cockpits. But there's one really important difference between these two, and it's the reason why F1 specifically is such a big deal. In IndyCar, all of the cars use the same frame, or chassis, the DW12. So the competition here is mostly in how you race that car. But in F1, every team has to design and manufacture their own cars. And the best part is that they get to improve the cars between each race, or not, depending on how they do. So the competition in F1 actually centers around the car itself. Not just how you race it, but also how you build it and rebuild it again and again and again. This is why I love F1. It looks like the sport of daredevils, but much more than that. It's the sport of nerds. But before we get to that, I want to show you something. One of the questions that I get asked most about my videos is, where did you get all of that footage? And the answer is Storyblocks. Seriously, I use them all the time, and that's why I'm super excited.
little sponsorship. Okay,
I love Storyblocks. So here's how.
respect.
Go check them out. There's a link in my description. And
Respect.
see if you can find the footage that I just downloaded later in this video.
You know what I'm saying? That was sneaky. That was smoothly.
Okay. Each team races two cars,
Real smooth.
so two drivers for the same team. Each event, or Grand Prix, is 3 days: practice, qualifying, and race day. I watch these on TV every time they're on, but this was the first time I ever got to see it in person.
Got to see the car up close. That was awesome. Now I am inside the Mercedes garage.
Truly, I have never had more fun at a sporting event and seen less of what was actually going on.
So right now they're about to do a practice pit.
Here's how this works. The order of who does the fastest lap on qualifying day becomes the lineup at the starting line on race day. And passing isn't easy, so where you start is a really big deal. Depending on where drivers finish, they get different numbers of points. After 10th place, no points for you. No. Depending on where drivers finish, they get different numbers of points.
Got you.
After 10th place, no points for you.
Okay.
Drivers want to get the most points themselves to win something called the Drivers' Championship. But teams want to get the most points total to win the Constructors' Championship. The two championship thing actually kind of makes for funny mismatched incentives sometimes. You can hear it on the radio when teams have one strategy, like they want to let drivers pass each other, and drivers get really mad about that.
If he's quicker, we let through. That's very unfair, but okay.
But generally,
Dang.
everybody agrees about the big things, which are drivers, race your fastest. Teams, make the best car. All right, here's the fun part.
Yo, I seen it.
Hey, kids, look.
There's my driver. Hello, Lewis Hamilton. Think of an F1 car like an airplane upside down. Both meant to move as quickly through the air as possible, right? But where an airplane's wings work to lift it up, these cars' wings work to keep it down. Why? Because winning doesn't just depend on going fast. It also depends on keeping control.
Yeah.
And that requires a firm grip on the ground. Take a look at the shape of this car. Now watch how the air moves across it. See how some goes above the wing and some squeezes the long way underneath it? That creates a situation where there's higher pressure above and lower pressure below, sucking the car toward the ground. That's actually happening all over the car, not just on the wings. And we could talk for hours about the design features on this thing, how they shape and use the air. Some pull air in through the car to cool it down. You can actually see there's a hole there. I think they're trying to imply that on my Lego model. Some actually let the driver release air, lessening that downward pressure and allowing them to go faster in order to pass. It's kind of like a Mario boost. You can actually hear this in a race. Listen for DRS here.
Now, Charles Leclerc is going to have DRS to try and fight it back.
Taken together, an F1 car is just a symphony of aerodynamics. I actually got to see them up close and personal when I was in Miami.
We're going there.
I absolutely did not keep my cool. You can see teams perfecting these cars over the years, understanding the need for wings and adding them and changing the shape and pushing our understanding of aerodynamics to shave off just fractions of a second.
Dang.
Hundreds, sometimes thousands of people work on this, all for one team. So, how much does this cost?
A whole lot of readjusting.
F1 teams don't really want to share the details here.
Here we go.
So there's a lot of speculation. But
Here we go.
they're also companies, and some of them have to file their financials somewhere. So with a little bit of research into various European countries' reporting requirements, hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Here they are. Annual reports for every F1 team I could find, which is actually 8 out of 10, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
It's pretty good.
As a fan, this is kind of cool. Like, look, this is Toto Wolff's signature.
I just want to say this is a very well made video. Very well made.
What I learned from
W
all this
content.
is that running an F1 team costs anywhere from $95 million to $425 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
But
Wait, what?
95 million. What I learned from all this is that running an F1 team costs anywhere from $95 million to $425 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
But the year after these were filed, F1 instituted a new rule saying all teams were only allowed to spend $140 million. So these reports are going to look a lot different for this next coming year.
Oh, good.
Still a lot. No matter what, F1 teams spend a ton of money.
That's a lot of money, bro.
So what do they make? These reports show that F1 teams make approximately nothing. They run surprisingly close to break even. Red Bull, for example, made $230 million in revenue, and then add these two up, $229 million in costs. And they ended up with approximately $1.2 million in profit. This is in pounds, actually, so that's $1.5 million. These aren't the wildly profitable enterprises I was imagining. So
Yeah, I thought it'd be a whole lot more.
Well, take a look at this. This is the Ferrari annual report.
But that's still 1.5 million though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? 1.5 mil? Hey. That's more than enough for me, no
Why
cap.
do they do it?
That's more
take a
enough for
look at
me.
This is the Ferrari annual report.
Okay.
Our brand image depends in part on the success of our Formula One racing team. The racing team is a key component of our marketing strategy. It's advertising.
Advertising. It's great.
They use F1 to sell other stuff, whether that's luxury sports cars or a sports drink.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I mean, as entertainment, F1 is incredible. But a lot of people do feel that it's somewhat wasteful.
How much does a Formula One car cost?
$400 million.
Is it worth all that money? This is bigger than F1. It's kind of crazy to think about how much work we as a species put into entertaining ourselves.
That's facts. It really is facts, bro. You know what I mean? Football. Soccer, which I really want to say football for soccer, because that's really that, you know, football. So football. American football, basketball, you know what I'm saying? Rugby, hockey, we're not even going to racing, we're not even going to singing, we're not even going to comedy stand-ups, movies, TV, like it really is
But I
crazy.
think what makes F1 feel particularly acute for some people is the technology element here. All of this engineering work and all of this energy being spent on 20 fossil fuel reliant cars makes people wonder sometimes if that energy might be better spent elsewhere.
Like literally anywhere else.
Like, this is really like Legos, you know what I mean? Like, imagine you a kid and you build a whole racetrack full of, like, you know what I'm saying? You got like Lego cars and stuff. You got little Lego people in the cars, right? And you a kid, and this is like, you know what I mean? You and your friends racing, having a blast. But on a very, 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 very larger scale, it's this. Actual people with actual cars, and actual money, and actual tracks, and all that stuff, bro. It's like, really crazy, man. Even when you see kids like build a sandcastle, you know what I mean? And you know, they children, so they doing, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's real creative. But like, that's like, again, on a larger scale, like businessmen building skyscrapers and all type of stuff. Like, it really is crazy how, you know, all these ideas when you're having a kid and all these dreams, it's just magnified to what it is like when you're grown in a professional setting.
But F1 is more than just entertainment. It's better thought of actually as one giant experiment.
Like, you could really say we're all like just huge kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're just older kids than kids. That makes sense.
Just everything to the extreme. What do you need to create to compete at this level, to keep control at these speeds, to keep the driver safe in these conditions? The idea is that the technology that they build ends up trickling down to all of us non-race car drivers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My question was, is this actually true, or does it just sound good? I wanted to find specific car parts that were developed for F1 and then ended up in my car. But the more research I did, the more complicated it got. People often talk about paddle shifters, for example, but those were actually developed decades before F1. F1 teams just made them better. Same for active suspension, anti-lock brakes, traction control. What I found was that F1 was less trickle-down and more flywheel. F1 combines technologies that might already exist and then pushes them to an extreme, making them better in the process and then inspiring, or literally manufacturing, better tech for all of us. For example, take thermal efficiency, the percentage of energy from combustion that actually makes the car go, as opposed to being lost to heat. Most combustion road cars have a thermal efficiency between 20 and 30%, which means only a third of the energy actually makes the car go. F1 cars can't refuel during a race, so there's a very strong incentive for them to be efficient. They're at about 50% now, thanks to new hybrid engines, gains that have been dragging the rest of the car industry forward. Or data collection. Sensors on F1 cars collect huge amounts of information and then feed it back to the driver and the team. They didn't invent a lot of these systems, but they use them in ways that they've never been used before. And that's actually getting more and more important as we move potentially towards self-driving cars. This is the real promise of F1, and it all stems from that original requirement to build their own cars. Basically, we'll do all of this research and development, and we'll create new technologies and also combine all of the cutting-edge tech, and we'll push it to its limits and develop it further, and you don't even need to pay for it. We'll race these things against other groups of engineers doing exactly the same thing in this crazy round-the-world sport that lots of people really love, that is actually, at the end of the day, the biggest, most expensive group project science competition of all time.
It's like a, you know what I mean, who can build a faster rocket? Who could build a faster rocket? And like every year it's always faster and faster and faster. I definitely see the competition to that, like the entertainment, you know what I mean? Just wanted to see which team this year will beat the team that won last year. You know what I mean? What new adjustments have they made? You know what I mean? What is a slight adjustment or a major adjustment? It's like a science fair project. That's kind of crazy. I didn't think it was this much, you know, science put into this. I mean, obviously, I know the engineering aspects of car, you know what I mean? I know that. But like the actual like calculations, it's like more important than the actual driving. You know what I mean? Like a lot of drivers, like it's up to the driver to make the game. You know what I mean? Like to win. But it almost seems like in this sport, it's up to the science and the engineering, how it's built for it to win. But that makes sense.
People debate whether or not we should spend money on lots of our efforts to learn. And yet, they consistently push forward both the tech that we actually use and our understanding of the world around us. In this case, it also makes some money, and it's fun to watch. I think once you see the promise of F1, it allows you to think differently about lots of things. We need people working far beyond the edge, like pulling forward the limits of what we can do. The question now is, what do we need to learn next? If F1 pushes forward car innovation and the future of cars is electric, does F1 need to get more electric too? And if F1 doesn't go more electric, does it get farther and farther from its original promise over time? Less applicable to the technology that we use and more a novelty. Oh, let's go watch those cars that use gas. I don't know. Now you're up to speed. You can watch a race, you can enjoy it with your friends, and you can also speculate, like the rest of us, where it's all gonna go. I'll be watching with you, and I'll be rooting for my favorite team.
Respect. Wow. W made video right there, man. W made. Great vid. Great vid. That really was a good video. Cleo. I'm not trying to mess your last name up. Abram. But yeah, you know what I mean? Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Wow. Again, I did not expect that much science be put into it. You know? Well, that's gonna do it. That was a lot of that's like a class lecture. You know what I mean? Wow. Wow. It's been a minute since I've been in school. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna do it, man. Hey, that was very awkward. F1 Sports, explained for rookies. I might have to rewatch this myself. But for the most part, it is like a science for a project. But like very, very constant. And a lot of money put into it. A lot of money put into it. A lot of money. And yeah. It's almost like I'm trying to, explain better what I said with how the science is more important than the actual driving. I'm thinking like there's certain races where, it don't matter how good the car can be. It's really up to the driver. You know what I mean? It's really up to the driver to make it first place, second place, third place. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? There, like any sport, there's a requirement of certain driving skills, you know what I mean, to make. But in this sport, it almost seems like the science and the engineering is so like well made that like the driver don't have to be that well skilled to make it first place. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. You know what I mean? Like the video, mess with it. There's a lot of help, no cap. Tomorrow, we got another hockey video tomorrow. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Let y'all go. Hope y'all stay well. Stay healthy, stay blessed. Love you very much, man. Peace. I'm out. Woo!